It's that time of the year again, Christmas in July. So for this project, I got my inspiration from this Christmas decor that I saw at Amazon, and that one was $30. That was a bit too much. And then here's another one for $22.84. Still a little bit much. I think I can make this a lot cheaper. So let's see what we can come up with. Hi there, this is Liz, and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to share another Christmas DIY with you. Today I will be using these big wooden ornaments that I got from the Dollar Tree last year, and I never did anything with them. They still have their tags on there, so I will be using them this year. So I am not going to be using the fronts of these. I will be using the back sides of these. And I will be using these napkins that I've had for years. They are not very good napkins. They are more like wrapping paper. They just kind of smear. They don't actually wipe very well. And then I will be using a painter sponge. I will also be using Mod Podge. And then I'm going to be using this burlap ribbon that I got from Amazon last year or the year before. This is a good quality ribbon. And I will also be using one floral wire. And then I will be using some Dollar Tree greenery that I have already cut up into smaller portions. I've actually just snipped the stems off. And then I will also be using this berry pick from the Dollar Tree as well. And so let's get started. First I'm going to cut this tag off, and then I am going to lay my napkin out over the ornament. So here I am just trying to smooth out the fold lines in the napkins, and then I'm going to take my scissor and just cut the napkin to match my project. And I have grabbed a very dull scissor here, so I'm practically just kind of ripping it off. My granddaughter and my husband were doing crafts here earlier, and they left the scissor on the table, and that is the one I just happened to be using here. So, but it works. I'm going to get it done eventually. And now that I have that done, I am just cutting off some of the excess here and just cleaning up this edge a little bit with my dull scissors. And then I am going to take my Mod Podge and my brush, and I am just going to glue this or Mod Podge this to my project. So I was going to use the painter sponge to put the Mod Podge on, but it didn't fit in the jar, and that is something I did not think of beforehand. So now I am just using this small brush just to brush on the Mod Podge. So it's just going to take me a little bit longer, but it will do the same job. And now that I've got that done, I am just going to turn it over and finish off the back side of this. I'm just going to bring that wrapping paper up and around to the back. And I'm just going to Mod Podge that on as well. And now that I have that done, I'm just going to flip it over and start gluing on some of the greenery that I have chosen for this project. And I start by using the tallest one first. And I am just hot gluing these on. And now that I have done the greenery, I am going to start with my bow, and I'm going to start by cutting my ribbon in half. This was already pre-measured, so I'm just going to be using half of this ribbon for the bow and the other half for the tail. So here I am just trimming the tail. And now I'm going to do the other end. This always makes the bow a little bit more attractive, or the tail a little bit more attractive. So now I'm just going to pinch it in the center and then glue it on to my project. So here I actually end up putting a tiny dab of glue in the center of the fold to keep it together, because this ribbon is a little bit thick and it didn't want to stay very well, so I decided to just glue it a little bit right there in the center, and then I am gluing it onto the greenery, or right underneath of the greenery of my project, and that way it stayed very nicely. And now I am going to make the bow. I'm also just going to give this a little dab of glue right here to hold it together. And then I'm also going to pinch it in the middle. And then I'm going to tie this with the floral wire. And now I'm just going to cut off the excess wire, and then I'm going to glue this bow bow down to my project. And now that I have the bow glued in place, I am going to add another leaf and a couple berries to the top of the bow, just to finish it off and hide that wire. So it is in the middle of the night here and my family is sleeping, and I'm trying to be extra quiet so as not to wake anybody or disturb their sleep. I am moving a little bit slow at times, and I pause the video sometimes to clean up the table and just to move around a little bit. I work night shifts and tonight is my night off, and that is why I'm up in the middle of the night doing crafts. So I speed these videos up from time to time just because I'm moving so slow so as not to make noise. So anyway, here I am gluing on the berries and just adding the finishing touches to this bow. So this is what it looks like so far. And now I am going to glue on the letter Y, which I have positioned while I had the camera paused and while I did a little bit of tidying up around the table where I was working. And so now that I know where I want the Y, I am just going to hot glue that on as well. And for a final touch-up, I'm just going to shape the tails of my bow just to make it look better. And there is my finished project. I think it looks very nice. And then I've done my J. I've also done my O. And there it is, all finished and hanging on the wall. Now obviously there isn't any light coming through the window at this time of the night, so I have a lamp underneath, which of course creates a lot of shadow, but it is what it is done, and I like it. I think it looks very nice. I got this idea from Christmas decor I saw at Amazon, and for a much higher price than what it cost me to make these. And I will leave the link for those items in the description box below. If you like this project or this DIY, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.